inshallah, tomorrow night. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali baytihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Sallallahu wa sallama alayka ya Aba Abdullah. روحي وأرواح العالمين لك الفداء. يا ليتنا كنا معكم سيدي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. Tonight is the third night of Moharram al-Haram. We normally focus on Masaeb, but the books of history are filled with a lot of reports and narrations of what transpired on each one of these nights. In fact, from Imam al-Hussein leaving Medina, what happened in Mecca, what happened on the way, there is a lot of reports and information. Almost you could do a 12 series majlis just discussing and analyzing that. There is one important note I want to mention because it ties to our theme of finding God. On the 3rd of Muharram, Abu Abdullah al-Hussein wrote a letter and sent it back to Medina to his stepbrother Muhammad al-Hanafiya. It is the shortest letter I've ever read, but it is mind-bogglingly profound. I'm not going to analyze it, but I just want to share it with you. Think about it. He writes, من الحسين ibn Ali ila Muhammad ibn Ali wa man qibalahu min Bani Hashim. From Hussein ibn Ali to Muhammad ibn Ali, that is Al-Hanafiya, and the rest of the Banu Hashim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of God, the Beneficent, the Merciful. فَكَأَنَّ الدُّنْيَا لَمْ تَكُنْ. It is as if the world does not exist anymore. وَكَأَنَّ الْآخِرَةَ لَمْ تَزَلْ. And it is as if the hereafter never ceased to exist. Wassalam. This was his letter. Think about it. On the 3rd of Muharram, Umar ibn Sa'ad, la'natullah alayh, came to Karbala and took over from Hur. Hur had come with an army of 1,000. Umar came with 4,000. This Umar ibn Sa'ad, Amir al-Mu'mineen, had met him many years before. And he said to him, "O Umar ibn Sa'ad, how shall it be for you on the day when you will be at a crossroad between paradise and hell, and you will choose hell?" It's very interesting how he stands in opposition to Hur. Umar ibn Sa'ad was different from the other leaders in the army of Yazid. Those like Shimr al-Jawshan and Hasin ibn Namir and Hurmala, they were hardcore Umayyads who hated the Ahlul Bayt. Umar ibn Sa'ad is a frightening story because his case was one in which he didn't want to kill Imam Hussein, but his love for the world was so much he could not give it up. And Ibn Ziyad knew this, so he wrote him a letter promising him that if you go fight Hussein, you will be the governor of Ray, which was a province in Iran. And we have a lot of accounts that even to the last minute, Umar ibn Sa'ad tried to wiggle his way out to say, "I should not be going to Karbala." And Ibn Ziyad said, "That's fine, but give me the letter of appointment back." And he couldn't let go of dunya. And this is why he showed up on the 3rd of Muharram. Hur ibn Yazid al-Riyahi, on the other example, is a great inspiration for us. We commemorate his martyrdom tonight. He is very relatable to us because he is a fallible being. And a lot of times in lives we feel we have hit rock bottom, that I have done so much wrong in my life, I cannot be rescued. There is no hope for me anymore. Hur is a shining example so that Allah can tell us on the Day of Judgment, if Hur could be saved, why could you not have been saved? He was on the wrong side of history. He was a commander in the army of Yazid. He was saved just hours before he perished. It was a matter of minutes and Hur would have perished and been completely on the other side. He would never have become Hur alayhi salam. We turn our hearts to Aba Abdullah al-Hussein on this night. We say to him, Aba Abdullah, after everything that Hur did, when he came to you and apologized, you forgave him. You interceded for him. You blessed him. Aba Abdullah, will you not intercede for us Yawm al-Qiyamah? Look at the overflowing love for you, O Aba Abdullah, in the Shia who have gathered to mourn for you this night. I mentioned to you last night that when Hur stopped Imam al-Hussein from going to Kufa, Imam al-Hussein was about to turn his horse in a different direction towards Kufa, and Hur grabbed the reins of the horse. And Imam al-Hussein looked at him and said, Ya Hur, thaqalatka ummuka. May your mother weep for you, O Hur. He was alarmed. Nobody wants to hear his mother being insulted or his mother being mentioned in this manner. But look at his humility. And I've always held this, that what saved Hur was his love for Fatima alayhi salam. Because he looked at Imam al-Hussein and said, Aba Abdullah, if your mother had been anyone else, I would have said the same thing to you. But how is it conceivable that I should say something that Fatima should weep for you? This is what saved Hur. On the 7th of Moharram, water was closed on the camp of Hussein. Hur could hear the children, Al-Atash, Al-Atash. On the day of Ashura, Hur was pacing up and down. Hur did not expect a war will break out. He thought somehow they will come to some resolution. He comes to Umar ibn Sa'd and says to him, are you really going to fight and kill Hussein? And Umar ibn Sa'd said, yes, we will be severing heads and chopping limbs today. These are the words of Umar. And Hur was disturbed by this. He moved away from the camp. He moved far away from the other soldiers. A man saw Hur, he was trembling. He said, oh Hur, if anyone had asked me who is the bravest man in Kufa, I would have mentioned you. Why are you trembling? There are only 72 people. He said, La wallah, I am not trembling out of fear. Inni ara nafsi mukhayyiratan bayna al-jannati wan-nar. I find my soul now between paradise and between hell. I am choosing between paradise and between hell. And he says, وَلَا أَخْتَارُ عَلَى الْجَنَّةِ شَيْئًا. I will never choose anything over Jannah. I will not compromise and lose my hereafter for this sake. So he pretends he is going to fetch water for his horse. And we are told with his servant and with his brother and with two of his sons, he turns away from the camp of Yazid and begins galloping towards the camp of Hussein on the morning of Ashura. Imam al-Hussein sees some riders coming towards him. He calls his brother Abbas, Abbas, we have guests arriving, go welcome them. Hur comes before Aba Abdullah al-Hussein. He stands before him with all humility. He says, Aba Abdullah, hal li min tawbah. Is it possible that I too can be forgiven? Can a man like me be forgiven, Aba Abdullah? Aba Abdullah, Karim ibn al-Karim, he has come to the house of the Ahlul Bayt. Why would he be turned away? He said, O Hur, in tubta tab Allahi alayk. If you have truly repented, Allah has forgiven you and I have forgiven you. There is a book called Masaeb Abrar. In there it narrates that when Hur was overjoyed that Hussein had forgiven him, he asked Aba Abdullah, is it possible for me to approach the tents and speak to your family? Aba Abdullah said, go Hur, speak to them. We are told that initially Hur came on his horse. He stood outside the tents. He said, Assalamu alaikum ya ahla bayt al-nubuwa. I am Hur ibn Yazid al-Riyahi. I am the one who intercepted you and stopped you from going to Kufa. I am the cause of your grief and your suffering. Is it possible that you might forgive me? And the riwayah says, Hur began hearing some wails and cries from the tents. When he heard this, he was so broken-hearted because he didn't know why they were weeping. So he got off his horse and he began speaking to himself and said, "Oh Hur, if only your hands and feet had been paralyzed before you stopped Hussein. Oh Hur, if only your tongue had been cut off before you said what you said to Hussein." He said, "Oh Ahlul Bayt, if Hussein will be killed today, it is my fault. If you are not able to return to Medina, it is because of me." The women wept, and someone replied from behind the tent. Fidda replied to him, "Oh Hur, go, we have forgiven you." But Hur was not done. He said, "Oh Ahl Bayt Nabi, before I go, I need to ask you one more. What is it you want, O Hur?" He said, "Promise me on the day of judgment you will not complain to Fatima about me." Will you complain about Hur to Fatima Yawm al-Qiyamah? They said, "Oh Hur, go. We will not complain to you about to Fatima." Do you see the love of Fatima that Hur has? Hur returned. He is now satisfied. He has itminan. He came to Abu Abdullah and said, "I was the one who stopped you. Let me go fight first." Hur went out to the battlefield. He fought. He killed 40 of the men. When he fell and said, "Assalamu alayka ya Abu Abdullah," Imam al-Hussein ran out. He came to Hur's body. He put Hur's head on his lap. He took a handkerchief out. This is the rumal of Fatima. Hur's forehead was gushing blood. He tied the rumal of Fatima. "Go Hur, you are secure in this world and in the hereafter." Then Hussein remembered, "I had said to Hur, may your mother mourn for you." He reversed that and said, "Oh Hur, your mother named you perfectly when he named you Hur. Anta hurrun fid dunya wal akhirah. You are free in this world and in the hereafter." Of the two sons of Hur, one of his son was called Bukair. He went to fight before Hur. We are told he came and kissed the hands of Abu Abdullah. He went to fight. When Bukair fell, instinctively he called his father, "Ya Abata adrikni." Hur, we are told, stood up and made out for the battlefield. Imam al-Hussein ran behind him. "Hur, wait, I will bring your son." "Oh Hur, fathers do not go and bring the bodies of their sons." Abu Abdullah, who will bring the body of Aliyun al-Akbar? You will be stumbling on the sands of Karbala. You will stand and fall and call out, "Ali, my son, where are you?" The sands of Karbala will be holding your feet, Abu Abdullah. They will be saying to you, "Oh Hussein, fathers do not go out and bring the lash of their sons. Wa Husaina, wa Ghariba, wa Madluma, Matam Hussein."